The sun beat down over the hills of Canaan as Israel marched forward, a nation forged in the furnace of the wilderness and led by Joshua, the servant of Moses. City after city fell before them, Jericho's mighty walls crumbled like dust, Ai was taken with strategy and strength, and fear spread across the land like wildfire. Far to the west, in a region nestled among the rugged paths north of Jerusalem, lay a small yet significant town, Beeroth. Beeroth was one of the cities of the Gibeonites, a people who had heard the thunder of Israel's advance and knew that resistance would mean ruin. The fame of Israel's God had already shaken the hearts of Canaanite kings, how he parted the Red Sea, how he rained down manna, how he gave victory to his chosen people. The Gibeonites, including those of Beeroth, understood that to stand against such a God was hopeless. But rather than raise swords, they devised a plan. The elders of Beeroth joined their fellow Gibeonites in crafting a deception. They wore worn-out sandals, packed moldy bread, and dressed in tattered clothes. They journeyed to the camp of Israel and spoke humbly before Joshua, claiming to be travelers from a distant land. They pleaded for a covenant of peace. Joshua and the leaders of Israel, moved by their appearance and words, did not seek the counsel of the Lord. They made a covenant, swore an oath before God, and promised not to harm them. Only later would they discover the truth, that these men were neighbors, residents of Canaan, and part of the very people God had commanded them to drive out. Among the cities named in the aftermath of this revelation was Beeroth. The leaders of Israel, bound by oath, could not destroy Beeroth or the other cities. Instead, the Gibeonites were made servants, hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of God. It was a consequence of deceit, yet also a form of mercy. They were spared, and in a strange twist of fate, brought close to the presence of the very God they had feared. Beeroth, whose name means wells, became more than a town spared by treaty. It became a symbol of both the power of words and the reach of grace. Generations later, Beeroth would be mentioned again in the shadows of darker tales. 2 assassins, Baana and Rechab, who murdered Ishbosheth, son of Saul, were from Beeroth. The town's history is tangled, peaceful deception, divine judgment, and even political betrayal. Yet Beeroth endured. In the days after the exile, when the children of Israel returned from Babylon to rebuild what had been lost, the sons of Beeroth were listed among the exiles who came back to the land. The town's name lived on through the remnant, a testament to the town's inclusion, however complicated, within the broader narrative of God's people. Beeroth reminds us that geography alone does not determine destiny. This town, which once deceived for survival, became a part of sacred history. It witnessed fear, covenant, consequence, and return. Its stones held memories of men who lied to live and were drawn into God's unfolding story, even through their missteps. And though it was small, Beeroth stood at the crossroads of faith and failure, of mercy and judgment, a town that teaches us the complexity of grace and the power of covenant, even when born of deception.